What up, is Dane. In this video, I'm going to be telling you how to lose chest fat in 1 week. So let's get straight into it. So you're a person that probably hates your body right now, which is completely fine. And I'm going to give you 3 top tips in order to lose your chest fat. So number 1, you cannot spot reduce fat. So just because you have a lot of fat in your chest, you cannot just lose fat in your chest. You have to lose it all over your body, which I'll tell you about that as well. Number 2, apple cider vinegar will not help you lose fat. So if you clicked on that video hoping to get that, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen, because I keep it real here. I don't keep it in bullshit in here. So that's that. Now the first tip in order to lose chest fat in 1 week is increase your protein intake. Now the reason being I've told you this is because we know that increasing your protein intake will provide a lot more satiety on a diet. Now what does that mean? More satiety on a diet means less cheating, less binging. Something that we all suffer from, right? So protein, the number 1 macronutrient that provides a whole lot more satiety. Now talk about macronutrients when it comes to carbohydrates as well, because let's face it, a lot of people will say don't eat carbohydrates, only eat it at night, never eat it in the morning because it will spike your insulin. Even that's a lot of shit. I'll put a video at the end of this video telling you why it's a lot of shit, backed by science once again. So the point I'm trying to tell you is that when you're eating carbohydrates, eat carbohydrates that are rich, water-rich carbohydrates. Meaning, eat oats, sweet potatoes, and white potatoes. Maybe instead of some rice and pasta. Now, it's not that rice and pasta is bad foods or anything like this, or spiking your insulin. And by the way, you can have white or brown rice if you really choose that option. But the water-rich carbohydrates will provide a lot more satiety than maybe pasta and rice. So keep that in mind. Now, the second tip when it comes to losing chest fat in 1 week is this simple tip. And it might just be the biggest tip you've ever heard. Choose a diet that is suitable for you and the one that you could adhere to, right? So you're probably hearing like, oh, okay, I don't want to go on a diet, which is completely fine, but just try this. Maybe try intermittent fasting. I've made loads of videos on how to do it, loads of tips, maybe tricks so you don't get hungry. Maybe try the keto diet. And one thing I have to mention is that it doesn't matter what diet you do, right? They all work because of one principle, and I'll tell you that one principle in a second. They all work just because of that. Now, a lot of you will probably say, okay, I'm going to go on a low-carb diet. Low-carb diet because carbohydrates make you fat. And like I said before, that's completely bullshit, because as science has told us that the carb-to-fat ratio, when the protein and calories is equated, meaning when they're both equal in all of these studies, the ratio doesn't really matter at all. So keep that in mind. So definitely choose a diet that is suitable for you. Now the third step, and this one is such a big one, and this is a calorie deficit, right? Now I've searched on YouTube how to lose chest fat in 1 week, and there've been some people that are keeping it real with you, but there've also been some people that are chatting completely shit about apple cider vinegar, giving you a quick fix, manipulating your hormones and stuff like that, when really they don't take into account that you need to burn more calories than you consume per day in order to lose chest fat, right? I'm keeping it real with you. I could be making up so much bullshit, but I don't want my channel and stuff to grow just because I'm making a fake video, right? So that's that, a calorie deficit. Now, in order to get a calorie deficit, you can just do a quick formula, right? And if you don't want to track your calories, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to give you a solution to that as well. But as we know, if you track calories, the more you measure something, the more you can control it, the more you can change it, and you know what's going on. So do 14 times your body weight in pounds if you're a female, and 15 times your body weight in pounds if you're male. Now, this is the big point here, right? So that's going to give you a calorie maintenance, and that's how many calories you need to eat per day. Now, the video titled is How to Lose Chest Fat in 1 Week. Now, that might have been exaggerated a little bit, a bit extreme, even though it is definitely possible. So stay with me here. You need to minus that number by, if you say minus 1,000, that's going to give greater fat loss. So you're going to lose that chest fat a lot faster. Whereas if you say minus 500, you're not going to lose chest fat as fast, but you may retain some muscle mass if you've been working out already. So keep that in mind. Now, I know that a lot of people that are suffering from chest fat as well, they have like a skinny fat body type, meaning they have not so much muscle, but a little bit of fat, right? They're quite chubby and they have like thin arms, right? That's called skinny fat. Again, I have made other videos on this, so you can check them out here. The card should be up there if you want to after watching this video. And the solution to this is you can basically build muscle and burn fat at the same time. So for that reason, I'd say, again, do the formula I've just told you. Once you have that number that gives you a calorie maintenance, now you want to choose a number maybe minus 500 to minus 300, right? And the reason being is because less calories means less muscle protein synthesis. And muscle protein synthesis is the process that's responsible for building new muscle tissue. So if you do minus 1000, you want to lose a lot of chest fat quickly but still retain muscle mass. Unlikely that's going to happen, right? So that's that. That's how you lose chest fat in 1 week, by having a larger calorie deficit. Now, in 1 week, it may not be possible to completely get rid of all your chest fat, depending on what body fat percentage you are. If you like not got a lot of chest fat on your chest at all, then maybe if you shoot for a very, very large calorie deficit, then it's going to increase the likelihood of really getting rid of a lot of fat. Now, the one thing that I have to mention is that a lot of people don't realize this, and if you're on a higher body fat range, this is completely fine, because one thing that's fun and that's good if you're a bit chubbier, carry more body fat, is that you can lose fat a lot quicker, right? So for someone like myself or someone that doesn't carry as much body fat, it takes a bit longer to lose this body fat and it's a harder process, whereas someone that carries more fat, easier process. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned, and one thing that actually links in with tip number 1, is that you need to increase your protein intake, especially if you go for the larger number. Remember that we talked about, if you minus 1000, that's a larger calorie deficit. You want to shoot for a higher protein intake than if you was to minus 500, because again, that will provide a more protein sparing effect, or should I say muscle sparing effect. So those are my 3 top tips. Now, the additional tips that I'm going to give you is cardio, right? Now, a lot of people will tell you to do shit tons of cardio, like runs till your like throat bleeds or something like that. That's completely unnecessary. And I've got to low levels of body fat, like my 6-pack being like shredded. Okay, maybe not shredded, but ripped. You can really see it, the lines, the veins, all that kind of stuff, by doing 0 cardio. Maybe only a little bit of walking. And that brings me on to my next step. Cardio is definitely not needed. All cardio does is it increases your calorie expenditure. Basically how many calories you burn per day. That's all it really does. It's not so special thing. Now the second thing, and bringing me to point number 2, or bonus point number 2 should I say, is try to increase your activity levels throughout the day. Now I know a lot of people that are suffering from chest fat, but they have an office job, they don't move a lot at all. So I really just don't recommend you just sit down all day. If you have an office job, walk around. When you get back from work or in the morning, take 1 hour walk. Just this little bit will actually help you lose some chest fat as well, even if you don't want to really track your calories, which I do recommend you track your calories for a little while anyway. So that brings me on to my 3rd point, my 3rd bonus point, which kind of links into that, is increase your NEAT level, which is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Now, this is how many calories are being burnt when you fidget, when you stamp your leg, when you're impatient or something like that. If you're someone that just can't stand still and you have to always move, it's likely you're probably not even watching this video, because you'll be skinny, you'll be burning a lot of calories, right? So although it's non-conscious, you can't really control it that much. Here's my solution to you. Like I said, do often walks, but not even that. When you're in your house, right, instead of sitting down watching TV or something, stand up. Instead of sitting on a desk, stand up, get a standing desk. Just those active lifestyle choices right now. And those are all the tips I have for you in order to lose chest fat. But just before you go, man, I need to mention a few things, right? If you do not eat in a calorie deficit, you will not lose this chest fat ever. No matter what you drink, no matter what supplements you take. And by the way, fat burners, that's just a massive scam. So don't even go into that. And you cannot spot reduce fat in one place, really. It's just not possible. Or at least it's not optimal. So anyway, that's that. Calorie deficit is needed. Like I mentioned at the start of the video or midpoint of the video, if you'd like to know more about insulin and how carbohydrates, all that is overhyped, how eating carbohydrates is completely fine, just click the video here, like right there, it'll be right there. And if you'd like to know more information about losing chest fat or anything like that, then just watch all my other videos that will pop up on the screen here that may help you as well. So that's how to lose chest fat in 1 week. If you enjoyed the video, or just before I end it here, if you've been watching my channel, let me know what videos you guys would like me to make next, because I know a lot of my videos that are talking about losing chest fat have got a lot of, let's say, views, or it's got a lot of like people going to it, right? So maybe this is helping you, maybe it's not, maybe it's not like maybe it's not something you like to see, right? If I can speak properly. So anyway, I'm not even gonna cut it there, man. This is just all raw, keeping it real, no apple cider vinegar in there, all sorts of stuff like that. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, man. You're missing out. Turn on post notifications, which I probably would have already put it midway or at the start of the video, because a lot of people don't do this and they're missing my videos on a daily, man. So that's it. Using science to get people jacked on a daily. I've spoken enough now. That's how to lose chest fat in 1 week, but I'm not saying you're going to get rid of all of it in 1 week, depending on your body fat percentage. Keeping it real with you. Stay positive, stay smiling. Let's get this, and I'll see you in the next one.